This is my live coffee time. I really trying to do this every single Wednesday. Last week I couldn't do it because, of course, it was a hurricane, literal. On Wednesday, it was a hurricane, so I couldn't go live. But here we are trying to really make this like a weekly type appointment, give or take. Of course, I'm going to miss because, interactive, doing a lot of stuff, and that is okay. So today's topic that I really want to engage in is what we have manifested. And I talk about this all the time when we do manifestations, when we're setting our goals and setting our intentions and doing scripting, is that, think about, one of the magic things that I incorporate in scripting is that I always say is focus on what you already have. Like, think about something that makes you super duper happy that maybe you didn't have before, and now you have it. And sometimes we take things that we have for granted. So what you do is when you look at that and you think back about, wow, X amount of time ago I couldn't even have this, now I have this. So I add that into my scripting because it brings an array of gratitude, an excitement, optimism, that high vibe stage and frequency. So then when I incorporate the things that I intend and I desire, I'm already at that level. I'm already vibing. And I'm going to share with you something crazy in this coffee time. So if you're here live, welcome. For those of you that are replaying, you could definitely stop, make yourself some coffee, and maybe grab your handy dandy notebook, and let's get to it. So one of the things that, because one of the things that I do every single day now is that I will journal and sit with my manifestations and my plans every single day. Even if, like, per se, because me and my husband do take care of his mom, so that's kind of, hands-on type of thing. It's very overwhelming. It's something I'm trying to put in the back burner, but life happens, people, right? So we have to kind of see what it is, see what fits, see what doesn't fit, and kind of work around it. So you are going to get overwhelmed. I know I certainly do. You are going to have moments where life is just like too much in your face. But what I have found that in my journal time, even if it's not the first thing that I do because of chaotic situations that I have to, engage in, I will take my ritualistic energy into, like, where I have my altar space where nobody's around, or my room, which is a sacred space that I co-created with spirit to do the work that I'm doing. So one of the things that happens in these sacred regimens where I'm sitting and connecting with spirit, I'm journaling, I'm just in that beautiful state of manifestation, that beautiful euphoric type energy, is I will go through different emotional stages. Sometimes I'll come at it like, per se, I woke up, I had a very chaotic morning or afternoon or whatever the fudge before I could sit down. So I'm frustrated, I'm angry, have no patience, a lot of those energies and emotions just flowing, overwhelming. So I'll go in there and I'll sit down, and sometimes I'll write that. Now I'll share with you. Let me see if I have one of my journals here. And I, because I like to be really real with you guys and share with you guys sometimes how, real it gets, like feel shit, I do get nervous, anxious feeling due to bills and responsibilities. It's something I wake up to sometimes. I feel anger with myself, as if is, why don't I sell out of my scripting books or my journals? And I go through this roller coaster of emotions. So this is like really real stuff. I'm not a best-selling author. Yes, I sell X amount of books and stuff like that, but I'm not to the place where I sell thousands of copies a month yet. I will sell a few hundred, which is great, right? Because before I would sell one. So and that is the sugar. That is the sweet spot. Is looking at where you started, what you had, and it's all about scaling. It's all about moving on. And I'm going to share with you why sometimes it takes us so long to get there, because as per me, I'm also a working example. I'm also, it's our beliefs, but it's something called our free will. Now, how many of you have heard about free will? I want you to comment about free will. What do you know about free will? Where have you heard it? What do you think it is? And I'm going to blow you away, because free will is not what we have been led to believe it is. It is not what we've been taught. Free will goes a lot more than you having the right or the freedom to make decisions. It's so much goes behind free will. And Patreons, I know I owe you big time, because October has started very slow with us due to my chaos with the hurricane. Also for my uncles, we're going to be doing scripting through the energy of free will. This is going to be some powerful stuff. For those of you that are part of Patreon, you know that even my free base Patreons are always engaging and manifesting, because I'm always sharing stuff on my Patreon for all different tiers and levels. And I also have some amazing news for those of you that want to purchase altars. So stay tuned for that. So let's talk about what we're manifesting, and what sometimes we're like, we're living in the present and we're wanting this because this is what's right in front of us. Per me, per se, is sometimes I worry about bills, because since I have so much responsibility, I tend to like, oh my gosh, I didn't pay this, or oh my gosh, I thought I was going to sell X amount of books, which was going to bring me X amount of cash flow that was going to take care of XYZ. So it's something that I'm still working on, because studying the richest man of Babylon, studying the energy of money, the language of money, and seeing how beautiful that flow is, that relationship, that cosmic type, engaging. I want to get to a place where it's tenfold, right? But I also want to get to a place where, because my personal situation is my children, is making sure that they are in a place where they could sustain themselves financially and not put so much burden on me, per se. That's like my personal vibe and situation. So it's working all of that out, and then acknowledging that free will engages into our daily life in such a way that we just think that we were just thought it was a choice. When we were gifted coming into this plane, free will, we thought it was choice between doing right and wrong, choice between dating this person or that person. But it's so much more. And I really want to kind of trickle it down for you to such a level where you are understanding what I'm expressing to you. So let me share with you. Where is it? Here, hold on. I think that I wrote it. I've been writing so much, so give me a second. Okay, so the things that you want are available to you, right? Whatever it is that you want, the spouse, the job, the house, the car, the health, it's available to you. But you must be willing to receive it. I want you to think about that. Let's break it down. Per se, I want to get to a place where my books are in the lives and access to others so they could achieve this greatness in their lives, because even through the chaos, even through anything and everything that we go through, and anything and everything that I go through, I feel that I live my bliss, because I live where I want to live. I have the house that I want to have. Of course, I'm getting my other house now very soon. I'm super happy about. I drive the car that I want. I'm getting a new car too. So it's like I am in a very amazing place. in a place where I have access to the things that I want, intend, and I desire. And I know there could be so much more, because even through everything, I am a huge supporter of my household, which is not just me, which is fucking adults that I take care of. So seeing all that, and I want you to break this down and understand this. Everything that I want, intend, and desire is always available to me, but I must be willing to receive it. So if I'm here saying, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, but then my energy is undeserving, right? I feel like it's not accessible, it's unrealistic. My mom told me I was never going to have this, my husband, my mother-in-law, all of these criterias and peoples and circumstances and situations are against what I'm stating. And that energy is like, that's not going to happen, embedded into my subconscious. And of course, let's go, what is your subconscious? So your subconscious works in a way where it's like a sponge. It's like a record. Your subconscious is like a record that has taken all of this that you have learned since the moment that you were conceived. Because from the moment of conception, you were already feeling the energies of this plane. And you're absorbing all of that, especially the first 7 years of your life. The first 7 years of your life, you're absorbing what mommy and daddy does, what your daycare teacher does, what the children around you do. You're absorbing. Especially today is even harder because kids are constantly under gadgets. So they're being fed, cartoons and programming and things that are all being soaked in and going into their subconscious. So if your subconscious is absorbing mommy and daddy always having trouble paying bills, feeling that they don't have enough, or one of the things that my mother-in-law used to say was, money brings money. The only way you're gonna have money is if your parents have money and you have money. Like, that was her mindset, and it was like a constant record that she would play over and over and over. In my house, it was, my dad was a struggling alcoholic and drug addict, but we had money, in the aspect that my dad was super duper great at manifesting abundance. He just was. And my mom, having the knowledge and wisdom from my great grandmother, always had money in her purse. Always. Like, I would freak out because my mom would literally carry her purse with thousands of dollars in it. They had bank accounts, but it wasn't like a thing. Money was at home. But even then, she would sometimes struggle because they would overspend. My dad was constantly having parties, inviting everybody over. If anybody needed anything, my dad would be the one that would help them. Like, he was the type of person that if he would have $1, and he would literally says, if I have $1 in my pocket, it's too heavy. I gotta spend it. But it was really easy for him to bring, get more cash. It was just crazy. So I'm around all of this as a child. And then no one could ever tell me I couldn't have this or I couldn't manifest that, because I would see that all the time. I would see my dad manifest stuff. Like, you couldn't tell my dad he couldn't have anything. I'm going to tell you this. My dad wanted to have a flower business. He literally walked up to this random owner of a little shop area, and he said, this is how much I have. I'm going to fix this place up. You just need to, I only want to pay this amount of money a month. This is what I could afford a month. And I'm going to do a shop here. And the guy said yes. And this wasn't one time. He did this over and over. He was fearless. He still is. My mom would sometimes was the realist, the one to be like, oh, that's not going to happen, or you can't do this. And my dad's always bigger and better. And, so I grew up to that. So you can't tell me I can't have this. You cannot tell me that there's no solution to that, because I always see the solution. This is why I'm so good at the work that I do. So that's your free will. You have the free will to choose the life. You have the free will to choose the story. Anything that you want is available to you. It is your choice to be willing to receive it. So if I'm feeling X kind of way, because my issue was that I got together with my husband when I was 15 years old, so I was still a child. And then being with him seeing how he constantly through life struggled, his own addictions, and then going back and forth from my parents' house to his mom's house, who was the darkest person in the world. It was a constant record. It's like anyone. It's like going into a cult. I just see it as I was in a cult, because you're constantly being told that this is not the way, this is not the way, this is not the way. This is how you do it, and this is why you don't have this, and this is why you don't have that. So it's constant, every day, every day. If you beat someone up to a certain extent and you're constantly doing that, your subconscious is absorbing this, even if you are in your teens and 20s. So no matter what you did in your childhood, if you get a new program, that's the new program. Because I've asked Spirit, this is why I'm telling you this, and this is why this is so important. Because I've asked Spirit, I said, if I was a master manifestor since a child, I used to see my fairies, I used to talk to my spiritual guides, I talked to my angels. What happened in my 20s and 30s to kind of bring me into a stage of doubting? Because I especially went through this major doubt era in my life in 1999 when I was maybe 24. And then I went through a really big spiritual shift. 1999 was a huge spiritual shift. I feel like it was one of the first major spiritual shifts that we had in this new millennium. So I reconnected with my spiritual guides, and it became a new lesson, a new learning. And the truth is, I should have left my situation, but always being the earth angel, sometimes we stay in situations and circumstances because we feel like they're going to change, or it's going to get better, or whatever excuses we get. So my entire chapters, the next 2 chapters, maybe even 3, has been me fighting against that subconscious programming and rewriting a new one. So it's so easy for me to manifest for others, and this was my conversation with Spirit. How is it that I could manifest? And I've tested this over and over and over and over. I see you through your spiritual ethereal self. So I see your blocks. I see what's holding you back, and I'm able to get in there, talk to your spiritual self, your ethereal self, and clear away some of the baggage. Of course, it's not easy if I'm working with your ethereal and your subconscious is constantly telling you you're worthless, you can't have this, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter how much Magic Daisy does, it's not going to happen. You know, that I've had clients that I literally have had to say, like, it's not going to work, because I can't go against the waves constantly. There has to be stillness sometime. You have to go into stillness. You can't keep. So how do we break that? Because again, I'm the solution finder. I'm going to express to you the solution to this. How do you break those programs from the people that are closest to you, constantly telling you, this is the way, this is the way, this is how it has to be, and you don't have this because of this, or you're not amounting to nothing because of this, or you're whatever because of this, or just that constant negative recording. First of all, you need to tell them to fucking fuck off, no matter who they are. Doesn't matter if they're your mom and dad, doesn't matter if they're your spouses, partners, even your children, especially co-workers and friends. And so then you get into a state of, okay, I'm no longer listening to this person because everything they have told me, it's a fucking lie. So then you have to embed that into your subconscious. That's a lie, because I am this type of person, and my will, my free will, I decide that I'm accepting this. I decide that my story is this. So what has happened for me is that I went from selling a few books to selling a few hundred books, to having books be on bestsellers, be on top 10s, be on top 100s. So then I'm seeing this shit works. But you have people that tell you only have to do this 5 minutes. You only have to do this for 1 day. You only have to, and that's bullshit. I'm never going to tell you that, because it's bullshit. You have to be willing to work on your life every single day, because you matter, because you're important. You are the most important being in your life. that you want to help others, that you want to nurture, that you want to be giving, and that's fine. But you need to do you first. So for me, it was really hard because, like I said, I'm like the proprietor in my life, in my home. So I have to make sure that everybody knows that Daisy's gonna sit down and journal for fucking 1, 2, 3 hours, and you need to put up with it. If the house is falling apart, that's your problem. Because you have people around you that sometimes become so needy of you that they feel like they can't get a glass of water without you, because you need to be there for that. So you need to be able to stand your ground, and this is going to take time, my friends. Okay? And I hope, from what Spirit shared with me of what we were going to be talking about in our coffee time today, is about the acceptance of who we are. That we fucking matter. That your disorganized self, your extra sleepy self that wants to wake up at 10, 11, 12, even 1 o'clock in the afternoon self, and all of that is okay. And when you have other people telling you that it's not, that's their problem. That's their story. And that is not your story. Your story is the story that you want to write and that you want to create. And that is the problem that we all fucking have, is that we have people around us that are constantly telling us that we're wrong, that we're doing it wrong, that we don't achieve because we're doing it this way, that if we did it that way. And then I want you to look at those fucking people that are in your life telling you that, and look at their life. What are they doing? Do they have what you have? Are they successful? Are they living their dream lives? Because 101% of the time, the people that are telling you that you suck at who you are, or you're to this, or you're to that, their lives is shit. They haven't achieved anything, if anything at all. They're miserable. Look at them. Look at these individuals that are constantly telling you how wrong you fucking are. See what they have achieved. See where they are. I'm not telling you to fight with them. I don't fight with these people. Cancel, delete. Cancel, delete. Cancel, delete. I put them in their place now. I become a full-blown bitch when it comes to that. And like I said, I'm very loving. I'm very caring. I'm very nice. Here, perfect example. I went to Publix the other day to make money orders to pay my rent. It was crazy. It was right after the hurricane. I was already late because of the fucking hurricane. And I'm here going to pay the rent, and I'm using one of my cards, and it doesn't have my name because it's a pay card. So the girl asked me for my ID, so I give her the ID. She's like, oh, the name is not, doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, I go to this place every fucking day. Pretty much every fucking day. And I was like, look, you see me every day. You asked me for my ID. The only way I could get into that card is if I had the PIN. No. Those are the rules. Okay. I don't argue. I go outside, go to the ATM. ATM doesn't have money. So I had to go all the way to the bank to take the money out. So I'm already a little frustrated because I'm like, that shouldn't have happened. I'm a very go with the flow person in synchronized energy. That should have not happened. So I come back, same bitch is there. And I do the money order for the rent and whatever. And then I'm going to do something else, right? I'm in the counter. I already did all this. I let the other people go because that's the type of person I am, very courteous. And then I'm coming back. She sees me. She doesn't say, hey, I'll be right back, or do you need something else? She walks away. And I'm waiting. I literally waited over 5 minutes, which is nothing. She's doing this and that, completely ignoring me. And of course, because my bitch comes out, I said, well, I guess it's bitch day. And I turn around and I walk out. And I decided right then and there that I wasn't going to give that girl my energy, and that if she's ever at the counter, I wasn't going to go to that counter. I'll come back. So what happens in those situations, and I've noticed this with me more often than that, is those people delete. So cancel, delete. Cancel, delete. Those people usually completely leave my lives. Because those are nobodies. I don't even know her fucking name. She's a nobody. But she has her situation. Who knows what the fuck she's going through. And unfortunately, bullies bully those that they feel are not going to fight back. Um, so long story short, that day was crazy. But I went home and I sat down and I started journaling. I started writing, venting the emotions, the anger that I had, the frustration that I had, and then I went into the space of I'm gonna have me a white chocolate macadamia nut cookie, and I'm gonna brew me some fucking coffee, and I'm going to make the decision that this is a good day. So I rescripted my day. Because I still got to pay my rent, so that wasn't an issue. I got what I wanted to get, so that wasn't an issue. The issue was I was fucking tired, overwhelming. So we go through these energies and these cycles because the world right now is in a very dark state. And then since the world's in a very dark state, there's a lot of people going through chaos. Maybe somebody passed away in her life, you know? I send her love and healing and forgiveness. No, I won't deal with her. She doesn't deserve my energy or my goodness or any of my light. I won't allow her, whatever, interfere in enter my vortex, right? But it was because I was already frustrated by XYZ that we will these energies into our existence. And sometimes, a lot often the time it comes, and I hate to say this, is when I'm on and about with my husband, because he's not go with the flow. Not at all. Because I find that when I'm with, like, per se, my daughter, that she's kind of learned a lot who I am. I feel like out of all my kids, my daughter is the most go with the flow. You know, and she has her bitching moments and stuff. Like, she has her moments, she's like, oh shit, I'm being a real bitch. And then I tell her, and it's okay. It's okay to be assertive. It's okay to have your bitchy days. It's okay to say, hey, this is not right. And to be a bitch about it. That is okay. I feel that is okay. You want to tell me I'm wrong? That's your problem. And the reason why I tell you that is okay is that because if sometimes you're too nice, if sometimes you're always the, how's the saying go, you know, push it aside or, you know, turn the other cheek bullshit, you're always going to be turning your cheek because you're always going to be attracting that type of energy. But the moment that you decide, I'm not going to allow this bitch, hence my mother-in-law, record her negativity onto me anymore. And I did that 15 years ago. And it took a lot of pussy power to do that. My life shifted. This must have been maybe more than 15 years. I don't know. This was like around 2007, I'm going to say, maybe 2009. I don't remember. It was a while. And it was very chaotic. It was like a lot. And lost everything. All of this work, all of this stuff, energy, time that we put into something that we thought was going to be something else. I said, no, if I had to deal with this woman just to have this, I don't want it. It's not worth it. I was miserable. I was super overweight. I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I felt like I was 100. It was crazy. Whatever it is that you want is available to you, but you must be open and willing to receive it. So now when I sit down and journal, and I'm going to show you. You guys remember this? Because we've been working on this for a little while now. I don't think it says what year. Yeah, 2022. So, November of 2022 was when I created this little guy. And I've been doing a lot of scripting in this one because the whole thing of scripting is vision scripting is that you are scripting with pictures. Because a lot of the time, and I've talked to a lot of you tell me that you can't visualize, that sometimes it's hard for you to see. So I said, so take pictures. You can't see it, you don't have no imagination, your mind doesn't work that way, no problem. Take a picture. You know, especially today with AI, you could literally take a picture of yourself however you want. You could go to AI. Let's say you want to start a family. You go to AI and say and tell the AI, hey, this is a picture of me. Upload your picture. This is a picture of my spouse or partner or fiance or whatever, boyfriend, or a made up guy because you're not even there yet. And I want to see how would my if I manifest it, because AI works with manifestations. You could literally script with AI now, so it's like there's no reason for you not to do this. And you can say I want to, like, how would it look like me pregnant, or me with my baby, or me with my husband and my family. I want to create that scenario, and they will create that for you. You could take those pictures and put them in your vision scripting journal book and sit down and write it all down. It's quite magical. So a couple of days ago, I have a video. This video is old. This was maybe 2018, maybe 2019. No, I think it's 2018. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's a video that I did a while ago. And in the video, I talk about how I manifested. I was really happy. I just went on to share how I manifested $10,000 in less than a week or something. And it's something that I really, really needed. It was like an emergency thing that I had to come up with. And I was talking about the magic of scripting and how when you do these, free will, you are eager to receive it. And and notice this. When you're in your most dire, then you have, I need this, it has to come because I'm in this situation. There is nothing else, it has to happen. You create this vibration and energy through being angry, through fear, through whatever it is that you're going through, then you have to have this, and you will it into existence. And I want you to see that, acknowledge that, revisit that, to just confirm that you have the power to manifest anything you want in your life. And the reason that we do not manifest certain things is because we are blocked. We block ourselves because we're saying, I want this, but we're using our free will to repel it. What if free will is your vibration? Have you thought about that? Free will is this energy that emanates inside of you that is constantly at work. Because if we get how we feel, if we get how we act, if we get we manifest in that vibe, in the vibe of thoughts, in the vibe of speech, all of that becomes our will to accept what we want to accept. Then it is a vibration and energy that we're emanating, right? All the time. You're manifesting all the time. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, all the time. So if you're in that state and you work on it constantly and you reprogram your subconscious into using that energy to state, this is the way, this is who I am, this is what I want. I'm going to tell you 2 major manifestations that I have manifested in 2024. So in the beginning of 2024, actually since COVID, I gained a lot of weight. Because of COVID, I was working at home, so it's not a lot of exercise. I was super paranoid about going out, so definitely no exercise. And I gained a lot of weight. And I had a goal that wasn't even that big. I was like, I just want to go back to under 200 pounds. I just want to go back to under 200 pounds. And then it was really big last year, and then again, life gets in the way. I moved in, it wasn't easy peasy. So then I started just vibing it in a way of, how would I feel if I weighed less than 200 pounds? Well, my back wouldn't hurt that much. Well, how would I feel? How would I feel if my old clothes fit me? Or if I bought a new outfit because now I weigh less than 200 pounds? So then I started vibing that energy. And instead of getting on the scale and looking to see if I lost a pound or two, because I started doing that. I started, I tried like, well, this week I'll lose 1 pound. And sometimes I'll do it, but then next week I would gain it back and I would just feel crappy. So I said, I'm not going to weigh myself anymore. And I didn't. I think the last time I weighed myself was in January and I was 216, which was good because I was way bigger than that. And I was still happy. But my main goal was I want to be less than 200. Because 200 for little old me is still a lot. And I started doing energy work. I started doing my journaling. I started scripting. It was here. I also did with you guys in our scripting class, in our 6-week scripting class, one of the things that I did was that. Let me see if I find it here. I don't think I have it here. I mean, I'm sure I do, but I don't see it. Anywho, so today, when I got that notification on YouTube about that years ago, the 10,000 thing, and I saw the video, and I saw, because in the video, I'm sharing one of the journals, and one of the journals literally has a picture of the house that I'm moving into. When I saw that, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I don't even remember this video. So I had to go look at the journal. It's not exactly, of course, but it's crazy when we see the things that we that we script manifest in our lives. So then I decided to check my weight, and I'm in my 190s. And Spirit says, and you've gained weight because I've been eating white chocolate macadamia nuts, cookies, and pasta. But it's a point where everything is your mind, everything is your power. And that's in Exodus. Abdullah talks about it when he says that you are who you think you are. You are who you think you are. And if you think you look good and you're, a certain ideal image or whatever, then you become that. Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. That's the thing with humans. We want everything to happen overnight. There is an energy. There's tests. We in our manifestations, there are times where we're being tested. Like, because if everything that we thought about would manifest, shit would get crazy, because sometimes we think some crazy thoughts, people. Come on, let's be honest. So there is a time lapse to bring you what it is that you want in 10. Sometimes you can have it in 24 hours because you're in that click and you're in that assurance and you're in that, this is what I want, this is what I need, But fundamentally, it's something that happens through like periods. And then when you get to a certain place, then you're expecting it. So it's a constant flow. This is why you hear the rich people say money comes to money. It's because they're expecting it, because they're in that vibe, they're in that rich vibe, So yeah. So, which I'm going to, because we've been here for a little while. So the Vision Scripting Journal is going to be updated for 2025 because I want to add a lot more to it. I want to actually add prompts for you to engage in, especially that I've learned so much. The 48 prompts, 6-week scripting that was part of the class that I started way back in December 2023, that, believe it or not, I'm still working on, will be done before this year comes to a close. I don't have a date yet. As soon as I do, you will be the first to know. But that will also be, my goal is to have all this out before 2025. My altars. So I'm going to be adding an altar for Patreon because Etsy is way too expensive. Way too expensive. So I've created a special altar because I'm almost done with all my on-calls for 2024, and only one is renewing for 2025. So she's gonna have her own altar, and I might not do another because my price for that one was super super duper high, and that's just what it is because it takes a lot of time for me to do that. But I'm going to be offering altar space in my personal altar, and what that entails, and of course I will add the description and everything on my Patreon. It is you're going to have a constant energy on my altar space, and my altar is something that I work on all the time. The difference between the on-call service and the altar is that my on-call service gets videos, they get scripts, they get my classes, they just get a lot of different things than do my altar space. The altar space, yes, you're going to get pictures, yes, you're going to get spiritual messages, but it won't be like my on-calls do. It'll be something very, very different. But for those of you that want something affordable, and you could have it, I will have, for Patreon, it'll be a monthly thing. It won't even be a month, it'll be 21 days, okay? Because like I said, energy work is energy works, and it takes time. So it's going to be a 21, which is a moon cycle. So you'll pay for the month, but it'll be a 21 day, which is how much I sometimes allow the candles to go through their phase and the energy. So let's say like this month, Daisy, I want to work on my finances. This next month, I'm going to work on my love life. Next month, I'm going to work on my health. You could do that. And then you could say, well, this month, maybe you don't have enough money for it and you don't want to do it. Then you could just pause your subscription and it'll be fine, because I get notified. You can message me. I don't judge. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of judgment issues. People think, oh my God, I'm not going to get offended or upset that you're going through something in your life and you can't pay me the money. It's fine. Okay. So, and I'm not going to get upset that you come to me and said, I want to manifest this. I do not judge. I can't. If I do, I wouldn't have the gifts that I have. I cannot judge. Now, that doesn't say there have been crazy people that come to me and tell me they want to manifest certain things that I do not touch. And off the get-go, I'll tell you, no, that's not what I do. And one of those things is, let me see something that somebody told me. I had a girl, this was a long time ago, that hasn't happened in a while, that, she wanted to be in a relationship with someone, and when I did the reading for her, Spirit was telling me that she wasn't the best person because she actually broke up a really loving relationship. It wasn't like, I'll have people that the husband is tired of the wife and they want a certain relationship, and that's fine because we have, freedom to choose whatever we want. But no, this person literally broke up this relationship, and I feel that what happened was the spiritual guides of the other woman, the who had just had a baby, they were upset at her, and I told her this is happening, and I cannot do the work because I'm not getting into that. So like, there's certain things that come up. Usually, I don't even tell you when Spirit says I can't do the work for you. I can't do the work for you, and that's it, and that's fine. But I don't judge. Like, I didn't call her and be like, oh, you're whatever. I just said, listen, I can't do the work because Spirit told me this and that. Very honest. I tell her what it is. Of course, she still got offended, but she's like, but she did this and she did that. I was like, that's fine. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anything. I just personally can't do the work. I'm sure there's plenty of other people willing to take your money. Cool. But I'm not doing it. So I will have that. So for those of you that want to have an altar starting this November, I will have that on Patreon. It will be exclusive through Patreon only because, like I said, Etsy, I love them, but they're pricey. Anywho, so yeah, and I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm so happy that it's cold here. That way we don't get no more storms, because that was scary. It's scary. I went through Andrew back in 1992. So hurricanes to me are no joke. When I hear people like, that's nothing, I'm like, yeah, you have not gone through a hurricane. Because if you go through a real hurricane, there is no joking about it. And that has kind of, the whole hurricane thing put me behind. You know, I'm already very go with the flow type person. So stuff like that happens, and I'm just like, oh wait, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So thank you all for your love and your kindness and support. I send you love and blessings. And this week, on Patreon, I will, for those of you that even are the free tier, it's fine. I'm gonna put some magic stuff. We're gonna be working on manifesting and working our free will to our advantage. So if you want to tap into that energy, if you're curious, if you want to know more, Patreon. I will link it below. Namaste.